Good morning, people. How we doing today? How we doing? It is Tuesday, July 23rd, and that's a 2 minute chart. That's not going to do me any good. And it's official, right? We talked about it yesterday in terms of the Ether ETF, and we're starting to see a more conventional tone in crypto. That's the first thing that we're going to be talking about, right? The cryptoverse will reach some new horizons today with the launch of the spot Ether ETFs following the approval of the SEC. So, Ethereum is trading higher before the funds hit the market, rising 1.3% to about 3500 area, 3510 to 3520. It hasn't necessarily expanded a crazy bit on this launch or on this expected trading start. It was only about 6 months ago that the first spot Bitcoin ETF came online, and those for the funds saw net cumulative inflows of more than $15.1 billion since they started trading on January 11th. There are big expectations for the Ether ETF as well, in terms of the inflows that are set to come about over the first few months here. So today's trading day, we'll see how that kind of pans out. But a lot of people are looking for this more quote unquote conventional way to trade crypto. So that's going to be fairly interesting. Ether is a native cryptocurrency of Ethereum blockchain, which touts benefits such as smart contracts and let me see if there's anything. Let's check it out. Smart contracts and customizable applications for DeFi. Spot Ether ETFs will track the performance of the crypto as an underlying asset, making buying and reporting easier due to liquidity and transparency. The simple to understand product will also bring things more mainstream and give us institutional and retail investors another opportunity for crypto diversification. So, the thing is that people should keep in mind the thing that people should keep in mind is that more money into crypto and blockchain is not a rising tide that limits all boats, that lifts all boats, said Paul Brody, global blockchain leader at EY, citing similarities to precious metals and that industry. Gold is 14 to 15 trillion in market cap. That is more than 10 times larger than the next largest precious metal. And I think that we will see the same kind of behavior in cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is digital gold and will behave like digital gold, and it will be as dominant to other cryptocurrencies as the gold is to the other precious metals. Similarly, Ethereum has become the dominant kind of tokenized asset and smart contract platform, right? This is what the EY blockchain leader said. So note that the new Ether ETF won't permit staking, which gives investors a source of revenue by earning a yield on the token deposits. That could weigh on future demand, with the SEC not interested in adding complications or further deliberations about security classifications. So there are also leveraged Ether linked ETFs on the market, such as a 2x Ether ETF, which is ETHU, though there are other risks to consider there, right, naturally. And the OG players, Bitcoin and Ether, are more decentralized than other ecosystems and benefit from bigger market caps and liquidity, but others are trying to break through. Last month, VanEck became the first asset manager to file for a spot Solana ETF in the US, while CBOE recently filed a request with the SEC to list ETFs tied to the cryptocurrency. It's very difficult to predict where American regulators will stand on the new applications, given that the current regulatory environment, unlike other regimes like markets in crypto assets, MICA infrastructure in Europe, and things that boil down to individual circumstances in the US, with lots of time, regulatory clarity, and amendments needed to approve such new applications. So, I'd imagine that the Ether ETF is most likely a variety of ETH. It hasn't started trading yet, but we'll see how that kind of shapes up today. I know ETHU is a double leverage. You can see it right here, right? It's been trading for a bit now. So we'll see how that kind of shapes up on today. But a lot more volume is expected to be added into these players. Now, in terms of other news, right? Google and we had a lot of issues as of recent with like Microsoft and whatnot, but mounting antitrust and investor concerns, cybersecurity startup Wiz has ended its talks with Google. for a $23 billion deal that would have been the tech giant's largest acquisition so far. Wiz instead is pursuing an IPO as previously planned, while the decision marks another blow for Google in the M&A space after it shelved plans to buy HubSpot, saying saying no to such humbling offers is tough, but with our exceptional team, I feel confident in making the choice. This is what the Wiz CEO said in a reported memo. Alphabet will report Q2 earnings after the bell. Is that today? Yeah, so it's today. That's going to bring some more volatility in the market. So we're starting to come across more big tech names that are reporting earnings in the coming weeks, and Google is the next one. So we'll see how that shapes up. It's for sure going to move the NASDAQ and the other equity markets. We're going to get a little more insight on the expected earnings and earnings movement in big tech from today. Now, that's not all, right? Google has finally decided to drop its plan in removing third-party cookies from Chrome following years of delays, and will alternatively offer users the option to opt out. Instead of depreciating third-party cookies, we would introduce a new experience in Chrome that lets people make an informed choice that applies across their web browsing, and they'd be able to adjust that choice at any time, the tech giant said in a blog post. And the UK antitrust watchdog welcomed the news, which sent ad tech stocks higher on Monday, including Criteo and Trade Desk, so TTD. Now, Tesla and Musk, right? Tesla is driving higher at the start of the week as CEO Elon Musk talks up the potential of its Optimus business. Tesla will have genuinely useful humanoid robots in low production for internal use next year, hopefully high production for other companies in 2026, he announced, following a previous declaration to start selling the robots at the end of 2025. As for the Q2 results, which are due again today post-market, there will be a sharper focus on Tesla's strategic plan, as well as updates to the next generation vehicles and how they fit into Musk's robo-taxi concept. So Tesla and Alphabet are reporting after the bell today, which makes for pretty interesting market volatility and movement after the bell. In terms of other equities that are reporting, let's just take a look at the calendar here. So Google, Tesla, Visa, Coca-Cola, right? So there's a lot of big names that are reporting after the bell today. Tomorrow we've got IBM, we've got nothing else super exciting, and then on Thursday we have companies like ABBV, and then nothing too exciting. I guess big tech continues next week with Microsoft, Meta, Apple, Amazon to kind of wrap things up in the big tech space. So, to start the day, what we got going on right now, we've had some interesting volatile swings over the last two sessions here. Namely, the overnight as well has been introducing a lot of swings this overnight, yesterday's overnight. And we're coming into an interesting area here on the S&P around the 5608 area. If we can actually maintain below, we're going to maintain below a distribution area that could potentially start swinging prices to the downside after two head fakes above the region. So I'm not necessarily on the bull train, let's just continue going up, but if we start failing that 55.85 area to the downside, we're most likely going to see some sell pressure come in on the S&P. The S&P needs to hold that 55.85 and it needs to rebid above that 56.08 today to start cleaning towards that 56.30. Otherwise, this buy side's going to be in trouble. Now, I think that this pop is very non-aggressive. That ultimately creates a lower high in the markets over the next few days, and that could happen as soon as today or tomorrow. But we do have big tech earnings that are coming out over the next 2 weeks that could drastically change that environment. So let's open up our live trading room here. We'll see what's cooking, and I'll see you guys in there, and we'll do an update tomorrow. So thank you guys, take care, have a great trading day, and I'll chat